I don't know how many years Ben Grauer has been singing the New Year from Times Square, but I know Ben Grauer has been in this business long before a lot of us were even around, and he is one of the great announcers. He's been with NBC for years, so we're going to cut over to Times Square to see what's going on over there. So, Ben, if you can hear me, we have no communication directly outside of, I assume they have a monitor on top of the Astor?
Yes, they do.
So, Ben...
Many things.
Yeah. How are things over there, Ben? Can you hear me?
I hear you fine. Hello, Johnny. I hear you fine, but I can't believe it. Is this New Year's Eve? I left Beverly, Wilshire Boulevard today, really, to come here to the cold east. And it's colder there than it is here. It's 60 degrees, and this is, without question, the warmest. Well, no coat, no gloves, the usual muffler. The crowd has assembled earlier this year because, well, I don't know, maybe they just feel hopeful about 66, about the peace talks that are going on, or the good weather's brought them out. But you can look way down there to 40th Street and way up there to 48th Street, and it's solid with people. Right now you're looking at the Allied Chemical Tower. We used to call it the Times Tower, the venerable building of the New York Times, where 60 years ago the first sphere dropped down to indicate the passing of the old, the beginning of the new. There's the ball at the top. See it right there? Well, that ball will start dropping at 11:59, Johnny. And when it hits bottom, it'll be 12 straight up. It'll be 1966. It'll be the year of no more cabaret and theater tax and the year of higher Social Security tax. So it's 6-1. There's the situation here. Oh, crowds. I would say that by my ear of an eye of 20, 25 years here, that there are 700, 800,000 people. We've had it as low as 400,000 and as high as 1 million right after the war ended. This is going to be a big, big show here in Times Square. I know all your friends will want to stay with it. There's the story, Johnny. Back to you.
What Ben say? It's rough to hear with those people.
It is.
They have more people there this year, I think, than they had last year.
He said they gathered earlier. I guess the weather that's so nice here.
It used to be called the Times Building, and is now the Allied Chemical Tower. One
Very
of the brand
pretty
new
building.
buildings here. Well, we're going to go back. I can still hear them coming through something here. There they are. Ben's got absolute control. He just goes like that, and they stop. We're going to cut back to Times Square in a couple of seconds, but we thought we ought to check just briefly with Ben, see how things are progressing. We're just going to cut away for a few seconds. So, Ben, how are things going over there?
We're doing fine, Johnny. I predict, there's been a lot of predictions the last few minutes. I predict that in that crowd down there, 1,843 girls are going to be kissed in the next minute by total strangers. In fact, it's going on right in front of my eyes. They're youngsters, and they're using every opportunity for fun and adventure as the minutes creep along towards magic midnight. The ball is still suspended 100 feet above the Allied Chemical Tower. The crowd grows constantly. The weather remains mild. The climax is predictable. 52, that means that 8 minutes from now, it'll be crashing into 1966. We'll be seeing you then, Johnny. What do you say? Say about 3 minutes to go before the big moment. How about it?
Okay, Ben, we'll be back with you. How would you like to be in the middle of that mob?
No, thank you.
Could you hear how many people did he say were over there? 1,400,000? Oh, it couldn't be that.
No.
Couldn't
He
be
said
that.
about 1,000.
Count them again, Ben.
1,400 would be kissed.
We want what?
Young ladies would be kissed by strangers.
Oh, well,
that was
that's
his
all right.
prediction.
There's some party we got going here. We are live in New York tonight from Rockefeller Center. We have, about 30 or 40 seconds before we're going to go over and see what happens. Now, as I
Going into midnight.
Yes, going right into midnight.
Who is he?
That's the new year, you see, 12 o'clock. When the big hand and little hand are both on 12. It's our producer. We'll be working with Clay soon. We're going to go over there, and that ball on top of the Allied Chemical Tower starts to fall down, right?
Yeah.
And at the stroke of midnight, it's...
Where is it?
Well, I don't, just comes down somewhere, but it's an exciting moment, and we're going over there right now. Ben, we're going to turn it over to you for a few minutes.
All right, Johnny.
Ben?
You know how they do it? While astronauts whirl around the Earth, they do it with pulley power. And it's going to happen actually up there in 1 minute and 28 seconds. It's midnight in Times Square, about 1 minute what am I saying? Minute 10 to go. The crowd has built slowly but forcefully. You can hear the swell of that noise. There are signs sprinkled all through from youngsters hoping they'll get their hometown on the TV cameras. Many of them say just happy 66. They've been shooting off those 6-inch or whatever salutes, making a big, big bang, trying to say hello to the new year of 66, while a couple of miles from here, Mayor Lindsay is biting his fingernails, and Michael Quill is holding us in the threat of a transit strike in New York. But inevitably, the clock is starting to show that the ball is moving. If you look up there, see it's moving from the 100-foot tower on the Allied Chemical Building. Used to be the Times Tower. Now the Allied Chemical Tower, it's 100 feet, 50 rather, 40, 30, 20. The ball is slowly moving as the seconds tick off. About 25 seconds to go. When it hits the bottom, it'll be the new year. And from Presque Isle in Maine to Melsinfilia in California, there are wishes for happiness across this broad land in the new year ahead. Just a few seconds to go, and then 2,000 watts in 8 bulbs means 16,000 watts of happiness for the new year. 7 seconds, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! There on the side of the Allied Chemical Tower, an innovation. We have it spelled out in great big letters. Didn't know about that. 1966. So there's the end of the year, which was featured with the escalation of the war in Vietnam and the Dow Jones hitting a new high, just 30 points short of 1,000 just today. Boom at the home front, increasing war overseas. Maybe this crowd feels and senses that there's, besides the warmth and good weather we're having, a sense of hope as Harriman and Kohler and Goldberg scurry about the world on the peace offensive. And the year that's going to bring us, incidentally, no more taxes and cabarets and theaters, and an increase in Social Security tax for Medicare. So take it or leave it, you've got the new year of 1966. And here in Times Square, the traditional crowd, which had been building up to maybe 700,000, one of the biggest we've seen in years, just like the lemmings of Norway, is scurrying off to their homes, their parties. They may have a transit strike. Some of them may be footsore and weary. We don't know the story on that yet, nor does New York's newest Republican mayor, first in 20 years, Lindsay, know. Meanwhile, Mayor Wagner, who's seen 12 of these, is basking in Acapulco. We wish him a happy year, too. There's the story in Times Square. To you, Johnny Carson, and to all your friends. This is Ben Grauer saying the very best to you in this new year as we look at this annual renewal of one of the amazing spectacles of American life. Why the young people, most of the young people, gather here in this triangle made by 7th Avenue and Broadway, we don't know. But they do it year after year. They'll continue to do it until there is no more radio, TV, or any communication. A manifestation of the American spirit. Happy 66 is the word from Times Square. Now this is Ben Grauer saying the best to all of you, and so long from the Hotel Astor in Times Square. Back to you, Johnny.